Well, hello and welcome back to Hot Springs Island. It seems our fine fellow friends have made it past the lava zone and back to Ma Martell and her ship. Let us join them in Discord, shall we? Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
We're safe. We're free. We have boobies and a giant ship in front of us now.
Whoa.
Cursing like sailors.
Well, you two are.
Well, as long as we're looking at a cleric, and I assume Elder's not walking in front of us right now.
I believe you guys positioned yourselves so that you would be in front of him and probably averting your eyes away from... I almost called you something really weird. I almost called you Tabari, which wouldn't be too weird because you have a character named that.
It's not too far off either.
Yeah.
Wait, that means that Lekka should be walking in front of me, right?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm not the head.
You're all in a wonderful Congo line.
Luckily, I'm not religious or religiously inclined or religiously worth anything, so...
The three of you have indeed returned to the camp. You haven't necessarily entered the camp, so I will return the stage to you all.
Yeah,
think
so
we
do
want
we
to
want to
rest.
camp outside before we go in with this weird curse thing?
No, I just want to sleep.
Yes, we can do that outside.
Yeah.
Then again, you're apparently hungry.
No, I want to sleep first. It's gonna ruin all my future chances with anyone if I go in there cursing while I'm eating.
To be fair, I don't think any of these sailors are religious.
True, but who
Or
knows
even
if
close.
any of them have some random paraphernalia laying around.
I mean, it's a big ship. We might have brought some priests.
Alrighty, so we're basically taking a long rest just outside the camp, yes?
Yeah, we could set it up right in the edges. I mean, we have
Yeah.
tents, right?
Yes, if you guys wish
Yeah.
to set away from people so you don't cause a scene, you're more than welcome to do so. Away from folk, yet somewhere that is safe, so you will not be attacked. This area is quite large, and Ma's not going to question if you guys set up camp at 4 p.m. Somewhere away from her ship. She doesn't care.
Sure.
Works for me.
Alrighty, so we don't need to do watch, obviously. We are in a completely safe location. Long rest, you guys can go ahead and pop that now. No surprises. Alrighty, and during these 8-ish hours, while we're kind of hanging out, we will say, as per usual with the long rest, the first 4, fully rest, you guys can hang out. You know you're not going to be attacked. But the other 4, you guys are more than welcome to rock around the camp. And after these hours, you're no longer affected by the cursing curse. But you guys don't need to sleep for the full 8 hours. You guys can walk around and do light activities for 4 hours.
Taking a bath count as a light activity?
Yes.
I will do that. A long
Can I
bath.
spend those few hours looking around for, I guess, flowers for incense and stuff like that, or potentially ink, magical ink?
You definitely can, yeah. Besides magical ink can be a little harder to
Yeah,
find
it
what we
doesn't have to be
but-
specifically magical. I'm just gonna look around and see if I find anything that I can use and maybe reduce cost later. But
Okay. Reduce cost for what specifically?
basically the magical ink and the components I need for scribing stuff in my spellbook.
So, what I'll have you do, so I don't want to give you a price that's far too low or far too high. Go ahead and roll me your herbalist kit. You're kind of using the guidebook that it comes with and what you've seen before. Roll with advantage, though, because you are not under duress and you're doing this for quite some time.
Oh, it's also for gathering the stuff for my ritual to resummon Daniel.
Alrighty, we got an 18 on that. With your roll, Lekka, we'll say you find 2 things. As you're digging about, Lekka, you run into a plant that looks very familiar. You've seen something like this, but not this exact plant before. You can probably venture to guess what it is. It's very similar to a flytrap. It's picking at various bugs and things that are flying by it. But as you get close to it, it pauses for a moment as if it's like it's sensing you out. Kind of while you're tinkering, maybe looking through your bag to take some notes. Maybe some of the jewels or some of your wealth is revealed to it. And that seems to excite the plant, and it starts to snap at your bag, and you can tell it's going for your jewels. I could have phrased that better, but I'm not going to.
Like I was gonna snap at it, like shoo it away. Hey, get out of it!
It starts like it starts to scoot back a little bit, and then it's clearly eyeing your bag.
You don't steal gold from a merchant. That's a death wish.
And then another one, while you're moving about, we'll say you're closer to the mountain this time, you discover something that's kind of perched up against the rocks. It looks like a bunch of little feelers, and they're kind of wriggling, waggling in the air, basically. They're very dark green. It looks like a carpet of tubes, and it's growing on this pile of stone that's kind of slid down the side of this mountain.
So it's kind of like coral, except on land.
Yeah, sort of. And they're moving just barely, really slowly. You're able to get close enough to kind of see see this movement is indeed happening. It's not just a trick of the light. Where you grew up, Lekka, would you have been warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
I think kobolds are warm blood, right?
That would indeed make sense, because they're, the whole dragon thing. As you approach this, and you kind of give it a look over, the little tentacles begin to reach out towards you. Not aggressively. It almost looks like they're naturally drawn to you like a magnet.
I'm just kind of like playing with it a bit, sticking my hand out, see if it follows.
Yeah, it seems to follow your hand pretty solidly. It doesn't seem aggressive. It's not trying to eat you. It's more just sensing the warmth of your skin as you move close to it.
Interesting. I'll take a sample.
Pop that in your inventory. As I mentioned, you can call it whatever you want. And then we'll say, while you found those two, you also found some various herbs and such that will most likely either be traded to Ma or can be used in the acquisition of inks and such. All right, and while Lekka is doing that, Sarabi and Aldrin, are you two doing anything?
I'm probably just watching him, to be honest.
4 hours.
He's guarding me.
I'm taking a 1 hour long bath, and then I'm going to hunt down 2 guys. I will take anyone who looks like they're off to bed.
Okay, well, considering it's around 8, we'll say you're pretty easily able to find some people that have worked a full day. And whatever your tastes are, Sarabi, there's enough people here that you're able to satiate that. You don't have to be desperate.
I might be a little desperate.
Yeah, but don't let them know.
Eldrin, I think she's gonna give our group a bad name.
No!
Do remember, we're on an island.
I mean, I'm sure I'll go around the entire boat eventually if we stay here too long.
You do not
supposedly permanently.
Eat the same meal twice?
I do, if I have to.
Okay, so do you get bored in that quickly?
I mean, that means getting attached. I don't think Sarabi's the kind that would get attached.
No, because Sarabi is in fact cold-blooded.
I mean, yeah, how else would I survive down in hell?
It could be one of the colder hells.
Good point.
This is correct. By this point, most people are sleeping. Sarabi, you are satiated. Lekka, your vials are satiated. And Aldrin, you're able to watch the boy. Nothing tried to eat him or attack him. He is indeed safe.
There must be people to talk to, like other adventurers that have been around.
Very much so, yes. Ma's camp is running 24/7. Obviously, it runs a little quieter at night, just to allow people to sleep in various shifts and such, but they are busy. So if you want to speak with people, if you want to buy anything, ask anything, you're more than welcome to do so, whatever you guys want.
All right. Are there any returned adventurers who are up and awake?
Definitely. Are you looking for anyone in particular?
I am curious if those people we sent here showed up.
Dale is still here. By this point, we'll say that Luther's probably also here. Joni's group is still out.
I might also ask some questions. I'm wondering if anyone's spoken with Svarku.
So I'll say, looking about, you learned that there was an individual that was trapped here, basically on the island. They went by the name of Jenny. I'll go ahead and add her. The area, we'll say she's hanging out here. While you were kind of asking around, you learned that at one point she served as a cook on a merchant ship. She was marooned. Unfortunately, her group and everything kind of just got scattered and such. At one point, she was wounded by a boar, so she has a scar along her leg. She was able to take shelter in a large tree and, kind of wrap her leg up, treat her own wounds, and she's been living here for a little while. We'll say semi-recently someone ran into her, directed her to Ma and her group, and now she's kind of hanging out here now. And when you kind of ask around about the big guy, you learn that Horatio has spoken with him.
Ooh, I definitely want to talk to him then.
We'll say it's relatively late. He's probably, cleaning up his plate, helping some others get ready for the night shift.
Hey, Horatio.
He turns to you and gives you a quick nod.
What's up?
Not much, just cleaning up. Can I do anything for you?
I was hoping we could talk some business.
Business? Sure. What did you have in mind?
I've heard rumors you've spoken with Svarku.
I have, yes.
Well, I'm potentially interested in talking to him myself. How'd you arrange a meeting?
Well, I don't want to say it was complicated necessarily. It was actually quite easy. I saw some folk attempt to make conversation. They tried to fight their way in. It didn't work too well. So, I willingly handed myself over.
As, like a captive?
Correct.
Okay.
Seemed to work. They were a little rough with me, but, still alive. I showed them I meant no harm. I approached them very obviously, at least the most direct route I could find. I don't know if they can understand me, but I motioned to the volcano and let them know I wanted to speak with their leader.
And what was he like?
He's definitely an interesting individual. Very charismatic. Large. Very Very large.
Is he as rich as they say?
I wasn't able to get that close to him, but he seems well off. His palate is quite, I guess for his tastes, quite nice.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sure to no surprise, as he motions to the volcano. Most people couldn't stand to live in there. It was quite hot. I wasn't able to stay for too long.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
Yes, the man lives there. His seat, his throne, had lava flowing through it. Quite interesting to look at. Didn't seem to affect him at all, which is not surprising. He's allied himself with the elementals.
The elementals?
I believe he's their leader, yes.
Oh.
He controls everything on that side of the island. Well, the center.
Right.
He's relatively aware that we're here. I went with Ma's people. She hasn't spoken to him just yet, but we're trying to set up various deals and such. We'll do our work, you do yours. We're just trying to make some money, set some things up. I have my eye out. I'm looking for someone particular. Have you met a man named Travis?
I will take a moment to think. I count on my fingers. Dale, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think so.
Well, there's no issue with that, but if you do see him, please let me know. He brought it upon himself to, acquire something, we'll say, from the missus, and he doesn't quite appreciate that, and I'm here to get it back.
Ah, noted. Speaking of missing persons, have you met anyone named Charlie?
Joni's brother?
Yeah.
No.
We keep missing him by a week or something. Kind of annoying.
I could definitely imagine that. From what I gathered, upon speaking with a few folk, he seems quite paranoid, so it might be difficult to find him. But assuming he's still alive, of course.
One last question.
Of course.
Have you met any of the Goa?
I've seen some, yes. I've not attempted to speak with them. Why?
Just wondering what other people's experiences are. We met one clan. They were pretty nice, but the other one's supposed to be really scary.
I heard the same thing, yes. I didn't want to, risk it. I'm here on business, not adventure.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Of course, of course. If there's anything you need, feel free to ask me. I can convey it to Ma. She's relatively busy recently. Always working, her.
Of course, I know.
Yeah, he motions to the area around him. He's like, we're expanding quite a bit, so business is going to be booming soon.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I want to get back to my sister. What did you say about Marcia?
You've met her before. I can describe her real quick. She looks very much like her token. As I said, she has a very heavy build. She's the one with the brown eyes, the long black hair, and she has kind of like steel leather armor and a huge two-handed axe. I think she said she was trying to regain her honor or something.
Hey, Marcia, what's up?
She yawns and turns to you clearly. She was about to turn in the night. She kind of rubs her eye and kind of, yes, what, Sarabi was it?
Yeah, you remembered.
Well, you sort of stand out a bit.
Do I really?
Hard to forget a face.
How's that honor thing going?
Good, I would say. There's quite a bit on this island. She looks over her shoulder and shimmies over just a wee bit out of earshot of most folk and says, I wasn't entirely sure the intent of, Ma and her people. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this operation that they're suddenly just building. I helped a little bit, but I thought it was just, for barracks, for anyone that we found on the island, for anyone on the boat. Sleeping on it can be a bit, nauseous for those that aren't used to it. I don't know. I'm just getting a weird feeling.
Like what? I'm usually pretty good about this sort of stuff, but I haven't felt anything weird.
Maybe it's a different kind of weird. I mean, we just got here and she's already trying to, put her roots in. I've spoken with some of the other people and, you people have spoken with the ogres, right?
Yeah, we spoke with the ogres.
Well, she turns and motions to all this and she says, I don't see them being okay with this. I don't see anyone being okay with this. Maybe Svarku, but, I can't exactly say I share the man's tastes.
Can't argue with that. All right, well, good luck.
Thank you. I will say one thing. I was able to trade a little with the ogres. They were able to... She turns her axe around and shows it to you, and it's covered in what seems to be obsidian.
Whoa.
Yes, there are, certain folk there that are able to, we'll say, augment your weaponry. It's apparently a little fragile, so you gotta be a little careful with it, but she gives it a nice swing and kind of flexes. I'm like, feels good. Stores the weapon again. It's been doing wonders.
What They didn't tell us they could do that. I'm so jealous.
She gives you the quick up and down look and kind of, did you even use it?
No, but one of my party members could.
Well, you mentioned that, and her eyes kind of laugh and say, well, as long as you're, in their favor, maybe ask them. Trade them something, of course.
Oh, don't worry. I'm already trading them stuff. I don't suppose you, have you been there the past week?
You haven't been there for that long, Sarabi. Yeah.
All right. I gave them a painting. You might have seen it.
Oh, I did. Was that the one with I've not met her, but their witch?
Morta, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I like it.
Thank you. Wag my tails happily.
She offers you a very big smile at that.
Obsidian fingernails. That is such a good idea. Well, later, Marcia.
She gives you a nod and then goes to retire for sleep.
And then Jenny. Let's talk to Jenny. We'll go ahead and talk to Jenny.
Sure, why not? Does anyone else wish to speak with any NPCs or?
Not for the next hour because Lekka has resummoning Daniel.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh no, poor Daniel.
I will live again.
He's been murdered. Will you live again though?
During that time, you bring a god back to this plane.
Oh no. Quick, stab it.
No, don't touch me. Go over and jaunt over to Jenny, and she looks about as tired as Marcia. She's probably also going to head to bed.
Hi, you're new.
She gives you a quick wave. Says, you seem to be new too. What's your name?
I'm Sarabi. I actually came with Ma's boat, so new from that sense, but I don't think you were on the boat.
I wasn't. I was shipwrecked here prior.
Ooh, how long ago?
About a month, I think.
Oh, not that long.
No, not too bad.
Who are you traveling with?
She kind of gives like a look and says, well, technically I was on it wasn't one of Ma's boats, but it was with her people. I had issues with the crew. They landed here and weren't really sure what to do. Lots of fighting, lots of, let's just say things went south really quick. We didn't land on this side of the island, and we all ran into something quite perilous. So I ran. They were all crazy, so not worth it.
Wait, fighting among the crew or fighting with the island's inhabitants?
Both. Just a lot of stupid people.
Oh, okay. Were you fighting with the Lizardmen?
They did run into some of them, yes. I believe they were trying to hunt down some of the wildlife, and the ogres didn't necessarily agree. They tried moving to some large building somewhere to the... where are we? The south of here? West? There's a city or something there. Some folk went there. They just they all spread everywhere. It was very unorganized. The captain was one of the first to die, so that went out the window. The next loudest idiot decided to take over, so we split into 2-3 groups.
Dear. All right. I think your group is doomed to fail.
Unfortunately, I think they had some history with each other prior to me joining. I am just a cook after all. I don't really care about anything else. I'm just here to feed people.
All right. Well, I'm glad you've made it back to Maz.
Smiles widely at that. Her clothes are not horrible, but to quickly describe her, she's young. She's probably young. Oh, sorry. The age you're presenting at, Sarabi. She looks younger than your presented age. She has very dark skin.
Age I'm presenting at. Oh, I love you, husband.
Yeah. Dark skin. She has a curly, kind of semi-matted black hair. Understandably, she's been on the island for a little while. Guys are speaking with her. She's still trying to pick things out and clean her hair. It's not great. She has a very, very full dark eyes. They're very beautiful. And her cream-colored blouse is ripped in various places. You can tell that it went from just hey, I'm a cook and I just need to present like this to, okay, time to get shit serious. And she ripped the dress and pulled it up a bit. And it functioned more as a pair of shorts or something with how she had it. So she's clearly in the market for new clothes.
You are making me want to help her clean up, Hub.
I mean, you technically have the time to do that. You're more welcome to say that you and her kind of do a thing.
Pretty things should be beautified. I will do this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. You also know that I can literally cast a spell to clean her.
Sometimes a lady just wants to do it the slow, old-fashioned way.
That sounds inefficient.
Yeah, it really does.
Yes, but there's nothing like relaxing in a good old bath, so...
Yeah, if you want to hang out with her, she's more than willing. Girls' night, as you two she's very tired, but we'll see you guys hang out for a little bit, and then she probably excuses herself after you maybe give her a few tips and say, hey, I got some shit on me that I didn't bring into the jungle.
Nobody is sleeping tonight because everyone is hearing Lekka screaming to the sky.
Oh no.
As he summons Daniel. It's not quiet.
You need power to bring a big boy back to this
I'm
side.
summoning a god. Makes sense,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But he's not that big.
Hey, big on the inside.
I see.
Fluffy.
How big though?
I can't tell you. Sorry.
How dare?
You haven't
Beyond
earned the right.
gargantuan.
Exactly. Anyway, so you asked a question. I've been kind of tinkering with this. I know we're going heavy homebrew on this campaign. So I wrote down the rules somewhere. I forgot what it was exactly. But technically, spell scrolls are really, 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 really picky. Obviously, they're one-time use.
Sadly.
I think you both have to... It has to be your class, and you have to know the spell, or you can't cast it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I'm not a fan of that. So it's not just your class can learn the spell. You also have to have the spell. I'm more so okay
That's
because
dumb.
they're... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's written. There's a lot of weirdly strict rules in 5e.
The weird is that it makes a distinction between spell scrolls and scrolls that have spells. Like
Yes.
the one is one that players can make, and the other one you can buy.
Yeah, I think
It's stupid, but yeah.
I believe they function the same way. But because obviously, if you make the spell, you know it. Obviously, you can't just say, I'm making a bless spell and I'm a fighter. That doesn't make any sense.
The one that are just magical items like Scroll of Protection, everyone can use.
Yeah, so there are some very simple ones. But obviously, we need time to craft stuff and whatnot. But we'll say that Ma's got plenty of people. If you need assistance with buying or crafting or something, someone can help you to speed things along. But I've been playing with the idea. I wrote the rules down somewhere. I'd have to go dig it up. Basically, I'm cool with anyone that we deem has the ability to do so. So a barbarian's probably not going to be casting a spell from a scroll. But anyone that feasibly can, anyone that's magically gifted, I'm okay with you casting realistically any reasonable spell that is like within your level range, except the roll to be, the roll will be harder, basically. And that's basically it. So if you're trying to cast like a pre-spell, like there wouldn't be a pre-spell on a scroll, but if there was, then I guess you could find a way to do that. Doesn't matter.
Anyone can scribe scrolls. That's not the issue. It's using them.
I thought it was wizards only.
Nope. Any caster can scribe. There's rules in what is it called? Xanathas, I believe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm cool as long as the spell's a reasonable level for the level you are. I'm okay with anyone using any spell if it's not within your class or not within your not within your class. If you don't know the spell, I think it was just you have disadvantage. That's it when trying to cast it. It's as simple as that. I think there was a list of what the number is supposed to be, but this allows almost anyone to look at a spell, try casting it. Specifically because, like I said, in this world, it's a lower high tier magic. Magic isn't this super rare thing.
That's good. That means I can rip off Sarabi.
You what?
Huh? He didn't say
Fought you.
anything.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
You're too far away. You can't hear me. I'm talking to Elvin right now.
Okay.
There's nothing
I mean,
happening.
You want to be able to read the book, right?
Yes.
I could make that happen.
You're gonna bribe Aldrin.
Wait, actually, give me a second.
No.
Your idea might not work, actually.
So I forgot where I got this from, but I actually have custom prices for spell scroll. I don't know where I got it from though. I think it's more reasonable.
It's let's see, here it is. One thing to take into account with the official ruling is that it literally says it takes a day to make a scroll, but they're talking about a work day, so 8 hours. And they don't specify that, which is really annoying. I was looking at the table that I linked in Discord.
That one, okay.
It's basically considered a downtime activity. But yeah, it still takes a long time.
Yeah, I mean, for the first two, it's 1 day. That makes sense.
That's basically full work day.
Yeah, this I'm definitely okay with. You need to be proficient in the Arcana spell, and it has to be a spell you learn to make the spell. That perfectly makes sense.
The costs definitely get interesting though.
Yeah, I'm looking at my cost sheet, and it's different, but more. The thing is, costs don't mean anything because I supply
No.
gold. So, like, if I don't give you that much gold, you're never going to get that much. If I give you too much gold, you're going to have that much.
Yeah.
So it
I
depends
mean,
how much
honestly,
gold I
who
get.
would even bother trying to make a 9th level spell scroll?
Honestly, like I said, magic exists in this world. People aren't just selling spell scrolls left and right. There are some you can purchase, but there's no wizard like, I'm going to make a 9th level spell scroll now. Like, you might find one somewhere is like super weird, but that's not something normal.
I'm basically gonna ask Sarabi to make me a spell scroll of detect magic, I believe.
Her? She doesn't have it.
She can learn it because she's a cleric.
Is it level 1?
I think
Oh,
so.
she does have it.
It's
Okay.
a first level spell.
Yeah, she does have it. Okay. Never mind. I thought she didn't have it. I thought we looked for.
Actually, as a cleric, I'm not even sure she needs to have it prepared to scribe it. Yeah, she
Yeah,
does.
don't
Yeah, she
I
does.
have access to everything?
Well, you have everything learned. You just need to change it,
You have to prepare it.
once per day after a long
Yeah.
rest.
During long rest. So you would have basically traded out one spell for that.
All right.
Realistically, if you guys want to spend like 2 days just chilling here, you're more than welcome to. Nothing's going to explode. So
Yeah,
if you want to spend, if you want to spend 1 day, like to say, just tell me what you're trying to do. And then we should be good.
Yes. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to write in my book. I also have the spells from What's Her Face's spellbook. I can only take the first level ones. Sleep, I believe.
And to transcribe a spell it's 100 gold per.
Process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold, yes. In material components and stuff, which is basically what I was scavenging for.
Was there anything you were looking at poking at all?
I mean, I don't have anything specific that I really need to do around here, I don't think. I guess just, I don't know, help around on the boat a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any like random downtime activities you want to do, you want to get better at something, you want to work with a tool. If you don't, perfectly fine, not a big deal. Your boy is here, obviously, and he's very excited to see you, Mr. Edmund.
Oh no.
He's happy you're not dead.
I'll chat with Edmund a little bit.
Sure,
Not like
let's get-
anything specific, just tell him all the weird shit that happened.
Definitely. All right, we can realistically say all that was done around the midnight or so period.
I mean, Lekka basically assuming that everyone is asleep, so he's not going to do anything else at this point. Other than that, did I ever identify that crystal we took from the ziggurat?
I have it, but there's no notes on it.
Okay, so I don't know if I told you this. Do you guys remember the red crystal that Ma showed you?
Yeah.
It's that.
Vaguely. What does that crystal do?
Remember when he licked it and his nose like phased out?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one, yeah. So one thing it can do, if refined, which you would need to be very skilled in this, and it could potentially be very hazardous, as in like kerboom, which would be very bad.
Quick, Eldrin, write it in your notes.
Yeah, so we can say 2 things, Aldrin. So it's magically potent and can store magic. And the other thing is, I won't tell you precisely how it works, but you do know that if you interact with it in a certain way, you become ethereal.
Might as well identify the 2 plants that I picked up as well, if I didn't already.
They're just plants.
You know what, I'm going to see if I can make it react to like an empty bag of gold and a full bag of gold. See if it knows the difference. Can tell it somehow.
It's primarily responding to the vision of gold. So if you have it like in a bag, it's hovering kind of nearby, almost as if maybe it's getting like a scent, but it's not like snapping at it. The second you reveal the gold, it becomes more excited.
I see absolutely no practical use for this, but it's funny nonetheless.
Alrighty, well, on that note, we have new spells, we have notes written down. What are our plans?
What do we know about the elementals on this island?
You know that the fire ones are loyal to Svarku. You know that the earth one that you've seen, they're just chilling. He's just having a good time. And then you saw one that was an ooze elemental, I think, and he just tried playing a trick. Didn't work, but you guys fell into
It was
it
a
on
what?
purpose.
Ooze elemental?
I think so.
Is ooze an elemental?
I didn't know there was an element.
It is here.
Damn.
Hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna check out the quartermaster and see if he has any spell scrolls.
What precisely are you looking for? Like what level?
The 3rd level.
I forgot if the game has canonical levels for spell scrolls. I just have it set to 300. So if you want one, you're more than welcome to purchase one. Which spell did you want?
I will confer with the group, I guess. So I have 3 options. The first one is water breathing, Phantom Steed, or if you want to be safe, Lehman's Tiny Hut.
I feel like Tiny Hut's probably the best one because it's Tiny Hut.
I second that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably have to use the gold we took from what's her name.
That's fine.
I mean, we'll all be using it, so we can pitch in. Never mind, I have 5 gold.
We can make things simple. She had, I believe, 250 she had on her, right?
I think she had 250, yeah.
Okay. So to make things simple, that will take you 6 hours to transcribe it. It'll be 300 to purchase it, and then 150 to transcribe it, correct? So 450 total?
Yes.
So we can just say you can hold on to the money, Leica. So if you want to just add 250 to your current and then subtract 450, and then we'll just say that's 6 hours from now. All right, and then during this time, if the two of you kind of want to walk around, Leica's basically going to spend time learning the spell and then transcribing it. If the two of you want to go somewhere, do something, look into the jungle, you're more than welcome to do so.
Aldrin, teach me another word.
Oh my god.
Come on, please.
I'd sit in a corner and regret my life's decisions real quick.
I accept.
I will sit in the corner and contemplate my life's decisions and then teach you another word. Whatever the next simplest one is.
So
She now knows the and it.
I think we just had you roll intelligence for this, Sarabi. You rolled a 16. That's pretty damn good.
Apparently it was a very interesting word.
It was a very interesting word.
What was the word, DM?
The word is the bird.
Oh my.
As you're learning this word, Sarabi, you recall your escapades last night and go, ah, yes. Now I know how to say that in Elvish.
Okay.
And when you turn to the page, that just plays out for you. And we'll say your technique's a little better, but, you know.
This should get easier with time, just as I learn the syllables.
Exactly. You get to pop up page number like 3 or 4 or something.
I will squee, hug Aldrin, and then dash off and start showing everyone what the word
Oh
means.
my god.
All right, it's 4 a.m., so most people are fairly tired.
You're just gonna run around and show them anyways.
Yes. And if there's any interested viewer, I may take advantage of it.
Considering Leica's doing this for literally 6 hours, the odds of that not happening is very low. Maybe your initial childlike excitement throws people off, and they just kind of have a laugh. But maybe after a while, you're like, ooh, maybe I can use this. And then you're like, hey, check this out. And you say the word, and they're like, haha, oh. And then you kind of do like the eyebrows.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So that happens. Sarabi's able to
You
have
realize I have to concentrate for this, right?
second breakfast.
Oh my god.
Aldrin, while Sarabi is scarring some people, making others laugh, and doing other things. Are you doing anything during this time?
I kind of want to like practice with some sort of like kit, but I don't know which one because I don't know what everyone else is proficient with.
Nothing yet.
You have 4 kits on you?
4 kits on me.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you have thieves, poisoners, cooks, and herbalists.
I want to be useful. I want to do stuff like everyone else.
So if you want to kit Aldrin, I can say you can offer, assistance and or information to Ma and her people, and they'll give you a kit and basically whatever you want.
I mean, I did buy cooking utensils that you can have, and a poisonous kit for that case. Do you want to be able to cook and make poison, potentially both at the same time?
That sounds fun.
I mean, not sure if that's my style, but I could try.
Yeah, if there's a specific kit you want, Aldrin, let me know. And like I said, you haven't asked much of Ma. She'll give it to you.
I feel like cooking is something that I would probably be decent at anyways.
Makes sense, yeah. Well, after all that time, Sarabi is satisfied, I would assume.
Topped off, yep.
Leica, you've learned your new spell.
Leica's getting very distracted by something he can't tell, as he keeps scratching his skin.
And with that, we'll say it's around 4-ish a.m. You guys are more than welcome to venture off to where you want to go.
Luther promised us something when we got back to camp. Is he here yet?
True.
You would be
Was
here,
Luther
yes.
a wizard or a sorcerer?
To see how he is.
So we'll say he kind of pops out in the early morning-ish. He's not really helping anybody. He's kind of just watching, basically.
Luther, hey!
You call his name out, and he decides, pull it over to you, and he gives you a very quick wave.
You made it. What do you think?
The place is quite nice. It's more than I was expecting.
It has built up a bit more since the last time we were here.
Indeed, seems she's planning on the long haul.
I guess so.
I assume you're all doing well?
Yeah. We've
Good.
gotten to our fair share of adventures since last time we met.
See that being problematic, but the three of you are still here, so not lethal.
Well, close.
Yeah, you kind of smirked at that.
So, you said you're going to give us something when we got here.
Indeed. I was able to run into various, items scattered throughout the island. Unfortunately, nothing I can give you for myself, of course, as I was stripped of all my belongings. But, let's see. And he kind of shuffles around his pockets. It seems to be a quill that is entirely made of bone. It is inlaid with various geometric golden patterns, and he kind of shows it off and flips it in his hand.
Me?
And he goes to hand you the quill and says, "Do you happen to have some paper on you or a book?"
Oh, absolutely. I'll put some paper.
Excellent. Hold the quill firmly in your hand and focus on it for but a moment.
I will do so.
All right, excellent. Now go ahead and place the quill down on top of the piece of paper.
Well,
He motions for you to take a step back.
I will hesitantly do it.
And then he just kind of motions to you with his hand and says, "All right, go ahead and tell the quill what you'd like it to write."
Mr. Quill, you write, "Hi, my name is Robbie."
It takes a moment, but the quill kind of vibrates a few times, then comes to life and then jumps straight up, down. The little ingrain parts of it begin to kind of light up. The gold shines. And starting at the upper left-hand corner, it just begins to, right, "Hello, my name is Sarabi." And then it kind of and falls over.
No, it fell over.
Can it write in different languages?
Lekka's just glancing between the pen and Luther. This would have been nice 8 hours ago. Before I started scribing.
True.
He smiles at that and says, "Apologies. I'm not sure entirely how useful it would be. Allow me to show you its other feature that you might not have liked quite as much. Sarabi, feel free to give it an overwhelming amount of commands. Just start telling it to write anything."
All right, I'll start rattling off things I see.
Alrighty. How's your emotional feel right now?
Confused, excited,
When Sarabi thinks of the word excited, what color does she think of?
orange for my sister.
As the pen begins to write, you notice that the ink is shifting colors between your confusion, your excitement, but it's mostly staying on orange. And as just relaying information over and over and over to it, the pen speeds up and speeds up and speeds up and begins to glow and glow and glow. And suddenly you realize it is keeping up, but it's going abnormally fast. And as it does, the piece of paper ignites in flame of orange and various other colors interweaved within it. The entire piece of paper is consumed, and the pen falls over, unharmed.
Not good for delivering messages.
If you speak to it slowly, it's fine, but if you go too quickly, it consumes the paper.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
And he looks at Lek and says, "I wouldn't recommend transcribing spells unless you're patient."
Besides, it's my pen. I'll snatch it up.
Go ahead and
Wow.
add this to your inventory.
So greedy.
All right, it is called the Quill of Automatic Records. And it can write in whatever language you know. So we'll say you probably snuck in some dirty Elvish words in there, Sarabi. It did write that.
All right.
He digs into his other pocket, and he kind of looks around and says, "This one has the potential to be somewhat dangerous, I might say. Be careful with it, yes?"
Okay.
I did a little testing with it. For fun, of course. He pulls out what seems to be a gavel. It is very much oversized, almost comically so. It is entirely made of iron, and the head has gold and silver inlaid runes and transcriptions in them. And looking at each of you, checks the surroundings again. They've gotten enough sleep. He bangs the rock next to him that he's sitting on.
Did he just say he had enough sleep?
I said they've gotten enough sleep.
Okay.
And the sound that erupts from this thing is approximately 10 times louder than it definitely should be. It
good.
echoes and echoes and echoes. Well, isn't this just a fantastic piece of magic? Behind him, first you hear someone that's like basically going to say, hey, keep it down. But instead they say, yes, of course. And the three of you feel compelled to agree with this.
Yes, of course. What?
He smirks at that. And the guy behind him that said that kind of was like, what? He covers his mouth like, Luther just kind of waves his mouth like, hey, shakes his head and turns around. And he just sort of hands the gavel out to whoever wishes to take it.
It's dangerous in my hand. Someone please take it.
I mean, I will grab it if no one else wants to.
You reach out, Aldrin, and he hands it to you. I'll go ahead and add this to your inventory as well. All right, there we go. All right, this is the Gavel of Agreement. Oh, I said iron, didn't I? I meant ivory. I apologize. When you strike it, it is 10 times louder than any normal gavel on whatever surface you strike it on. Anyone who hears this feels inclined, if they choose to answer, to agree with anything the judge, the wielder of the hammer, says for 10 seconds.
I feel like this is too much power for any of us.
Like I said, that would be bad in my hands.
I'm gonna use it and be like, hey, Sarabi, I'm just the best, right?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, thanks, Sarabi.
Luther gives a smirk at that and says, I found those scattered throughout the island. Not much else as well. I was running for my life, but hopefully they're better in your hands.
Thank you, Luther.
There's just random magical treasures laying around on this island.
I mean, we found several ourselves, so it's not that weird.
Yeah.
I mean, what? We found
We got the bug
and a
zapper.
magical locket. No, we got it from a corpse.
Yeah, but she might be found on the island. Oh,
Potentially.
do you think Ma's people could put the bug zapper into like a usable contraption? They must have
What?
a what's it on board? What's my sister?
Artificer.
That word, yes.
Shrug.
Yay, nay?
If you're wondering if there's an artificer on board, yeah, probably.
I would much prefer having it around for us, honestly.
Well, no, I was thinking to have them give us some sort of contraption that could use it so we could keep it. It's kind of useless right now, right?
It can
It just
see
needs a light
bugs.
source. We can use it to scout out bugs, and it can. All we need is a light source to make it work.
All right. Do we have a good enough light source, or do we need to buy a light source?
Produce flame was enough, so.
No, I know something better than that. The spell Continual Flame. A permanent flame. Until it's dispelled. It costs you 50 gold, though.
Let's go find some gold.
But then you can give it to like Eldrin and he'll permanently have a torch on him, basically.
Which object do you want to put this effect on?
Realistically, I'd like it to be on something that could be... Is it an actual flame that catches on fire?
No.
I would like it to be on something small that can be hidden just in case we don't want to get spotted from...
It's equivalent in brightness to a torch.
It's a torch, yeah, basically. So
Yeah.
you can make an infinite torch, but you can put on whatever you want.
Can I stick it on a ring?
You very much can.
Yeah.
Seems pretty smart. Whose ring? Just a ring that any of you can wear, or...
Yeah,
I'm
that
assuming
works.
It's something Eldrin owns. Because he's the only one that needs it.
What?
Do you not have any rings?
He's a rich boy, he has hundreds of them.
Probably
Oh,
not
yeah.
on me, though. You think I brought shitloads of expensive rings with me?
Edmund,
You didn't run away with like 1 or 2 rings in your finger? Come on.
I mean, like, maybe one.
I'm
But, like,
sure
no
Ed-
offense,
I'm
I'm
sure-
not going to give it to you.
I'm sure Edmund has some spares for you.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
I'll go find Edmund.
You're just going to go hunt down Edmund?
Yes. Edmund! You sexy old man. Where are you?
Wow.
The old man's a bit of an early riser, and Edmund gets up at about 7 or 8. And as he's looking about, you sort of call for him, and he gives you a very slow wave as you walk on up.
I bounce up, please. I bounce. Good morning, Edmund.
Good morning, Sarabi. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question.
I possibly have an answer.
Would you happen to have one of Aldrin's rings on you? I want to put a spell on it so that he can use, and we don't ever have to get worried about caught in the dark.
Yeah. Well, I don't precisely have one of his rings, but he looks at his hand. I have a ring of mine that would most likely fit his finger.
Do you mind?
Slowly pulls it off. And then he hands over to you, Sarabi, and says, no, not at all, as long as it's for the young master.
Edmund seems like the type of guy that reads at night. Give him one as well.
Would you like me to cast the spell on one of your belongings too?
Oh, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm not one for adventure, precisely. And there's plenty of light here.
Well, I mean, you never have to, borrow another candle or set another fire. You always have light with you.
Perfectly fine.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with a table lamp.
If you ever change your mind.
We'll be around. I know. Thank you. You're quite thoughtful.
Thank you, Edmund.
Anytime, Sir Robbie.
I'll dash off, cast a spell on it. Here you go, Aldrin.
Where'd you get this?
He hands you the sun.
Place dumb.
Huh?
Shrug.
Did you
walks
steal
away.
this from someone?
No, he gave it to me willingly.
Who is he?
Just take it.
Huh.
Very nice old man.
Did you take a ring from my butler?
I did not take a ring. He gave me a ring.
I'll take it for
You're
now.
getting married?
Oh my god.
What? No.
I slapped
You gave me a
Lekka.
ring. Ow! No, just asking. So
No.
mean.
Bad Lekka.
Now we'll never have to be afraid of the dark.
I mean, I'm a kobold, so I'm never afraid of the dark. I'm more afraid of the light, specifically lightning light.
Wasn't really
Ah.
afraid of the dark. It's more so I just can't see in the dark.
Well, now you can.
Problem
Alright, I will
fixed.
put the ring on.
All right, excellent. It is the power of the sun in the palm of your hand.
I love it, Hope.
Well, technically the power of a torch, but yes.
A
Oh,
piece,
Close
of,
enough.
a piece of the sun.
A very, 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 very small
Like,
piece of the sun.
It does look like the ring is on fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not put it on then.
It's not hot or anything, though.
Yeah, so she's holding it. It's not affecting her at all.
Yeah, come on. It looks cool. Put it on.
I mean, you're a devil. Aren't you, like, immune to fire? Is that
No.
She's resistant, I think.
No.
weird to
resistant either.
say?
No?
I
No.
know what Lekka's asking.
I should be. Shh. Yes, I am.
So she probably tells you she is.
Yes.
I mean, you didn't look very resistant when you had a fireball thrown at you.
I was having a bad day. I have to
I don't
concentrate.
think that's how resistance to things works.
Yes, it is.
Uh,
I have to be semi-resistant or to live in hell. Come on.
I'm sorry, but I think your resistance is not working. I think you need a refund.
Oh, all right. I haven't been down there since I was like -3, so.
-3. Is that what? How does that even work?
Since
How
before
do
I was
demon
born, come on.
pregnancies- Or how do demon pregnancies work that you were -3?
I don't know. Use your imagination.
I don't want to.
Barbie's her entire existence is up for question now.
I want none of this.
Just take it. It's fine.
All right, in terms of money, you guys don't have any. I say, like,
I'm broke again. Well,
Yes,
I still have 100 or something, right?
I'd say go ahead and subtract 35 for that spell. Probably get a deal from the vendor. You guys are.
Did Sarabi even have that much?
She has 5 gold.
Yeah, 5.
Is that thing?
Nice. Fine,
So
I'll pay for it.
Technically, that was like her cut from Ada, I think her name was. But we'll say everything's finished. You got your spells. You got things cast. You're able to buy what you guys needed. You talked to Edmund. You got your ring. Got the stuff with Luther. You showed that off. Spells are transcribed. You guys rested. Everyone's happy. We'll say it's around 8 or so. Where would we like to go next?
I want to go back up north to the ogre village. Did you
Yeah.
want to stop by the pond again, by the way?
I mean, we can.
So Lekka wanted to check it out, but
Sure.
All right. We can say within this 4-hour period, it'll be around 12 or so. You guys can go there and also investigate it without any penalties is the wrong word, but it won't cost you any more time. As we move towards the refreshing spring that we ran into before, we bear witness to the same sight as prior. A whole bunch of monkeys are hanging out on the tree, and the spring is available to you.
Is this the spring where I got blasted by bugs?
yes.
I'm getting the bug zapper ready. Just instantly ready to zap anything.
As a quick refresher, if you look through it, you can see basically infrared is effectively how it works. You see nothing but bugs basically through it. Like you see the outline of like trees. You can very clearly see any bug though.
Are there any bugs here?
There are
Besides,
plenty
like,
of
super
bugs.
tiny ones that don't matter.
So far, all you see is those. Maybe you see a centipede like curled up on a tree, but it's not
I'm
attacking
killing it.
anyone. It's just kind of,
That one's dying.
all right. I won't even have you roll. It's big, but they have like 3 health, so
I'm
You just
incinerating
kinda-
that one.
you just nuke this boy.
I love how
And
fast that was. There's a centipede. I'm killing it.
No hesitation. It's what he gets.
all right, while Aldrin is hacking this bug apart, the two of you see the spring in front of you.
As I'm watching you, I'm going to go, I'm assuming that you guys don't want to deal with the bugs.
Correct.
All right, I'm just gonna start ritualizing a nice little tiny hut next to the pond.
I mean, you have to
make-
stay in it if you make that.
Do I have to stay in it?
Yes. If you leave, it's gone, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it is the case.
It's fine. I have the bug zapper. We don't need the tiny hut.
So we're going diving in this pond?
I mean, one of us is. We don't have 3 bracelets.
Did you
Who's
want
the
to?
best swimmer?
I imagine Lekka probably is.
No, I
Would
don't
it
have
be
a swim
Lekka?
speed.
I mean,
It is-
none of us have a
You get a swim
speed.
speed with that bracelet, that's fine. Sure, then I'll go. But I am going to cast long strider on myself. So I have 40 feet of swim speed.
Oh, well, then you are the best one.
Alright, so Ravi, give me that bracelet.
All right, you can, as I mentioned, you can wear jewelry and underwear.
I don't carry a lot of stuff anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah. Well,
I will carry your stuff.
Lizard Boy gets into his skivvies, his birthday suit.
His everyday suit.
My back when I was still enslaved suit.
Oh,
He's gotta make it depressing.
No.
but why though?
For the glory of Satan.
Oh,
And I will stride long. And I will have Daniel carry my wand quarterstaff thing.
As you dive down, Lekka, you realize that this cave, this underwater section, goes on for quite some time. You guys know that you're well defended, so Sarabi and Aldrin, you guys are just chilling. I will ask you, Lekka, how long are you willing to swim until you either give up or continue?
I feel like this is something I would have discussed with them. Like,
Yeah.
how long do you want me to go?
When you discussed this with Aldrin and Sarabi, what was like the cutoff point for, hey, that's too far, come back?
Like, let's say 10, 15 minutes of continuous swimming. Because
Okay.
that's very deep.
It does go straight down, Lekka, and you notice when you orient yourself, it is basically just a tube, an underwater tube, and there's 2 directions to go down. You notice that this is probably not entirely natural. This was dug out in some way, shape, or form. One of the paths leads south, the other one leads northwest.
Is it like reminiscent of the hole we found next to the face?
No. It looks carved out by various bits of magic, maybe just general time, but a hand was here. It's not like something came chomping through it.
Well, then I guess I just turn back.
Alrighty, and for about 20, 25 minutes or so, Lekka is swimming. Sarabi, are you doing anything while you're kind of waiting?
Well, since Aldrin is seeing Bug Happy, I'll probably be pointing out bugs. Oh, Aldrin, over there. Oh, over there.
You guys are playing Bug Busters while Lekka is swimming. And
Entire generations of bugs were decimated.
after about 20 minutes or so, Lekka submerges from the water.
You mean emerges?
Emerges. The up one.
I demerge.
Demerge. He unmerges. He remerges.
I become the water. Front flip out like a dolphin now. Wow, that's a deep hole.
Really? Did you find the bottom?
Not even close.
Which way was it going?
Southish.
No. South.
It's split up at some point, but if you really are or really want to find out what it is, we probably have to go all together because that's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Plus side, the bracelet works fine, and I'll give it back,
Oh, good.
and I'll press to digitate myself to get dry.
While you guys are sitting here, the lemurs are watching you very carefully, by the way.
I mean, I'm sure they're probably concerned why we're killing bugs.
I try to blast them with the bug blaster.
They throw one of the peppers at you.
I eat it.
Excellent. It's delicious. A little spicy, but delicious.
Perfect.
Do you want to take a stop by Buff Mort as well?
Might as well. I imagine there are probably some questions for it that I can't remember right now.
We can definitely show her the crystal, and then she'll get angry at us for destroying a spell that has been keeping this island safe for like 5,000 years now.
I mean, at least we'll know where to put it back then.
Yeah.
We're so sorry, Bav.
Okay, we'll arrive there around 4. All right, and during this time, as you guys are heading down, you see a couple of the night acts that are kind of having a little jaunt through the jungle. And they pause for a moment as they hear you guys, but they recognize you. Through the brushes and the trees, they give you guys a quick wave as they go off to continue their hunt. And you all arrive back to Morta's massive blade house.
Interesting architecture style, honestly, but, you know, I don't judge.
It very much says, go away, but you know the 3 of you are welcome. Do you guys just all walk on up and in?
I'll announce myself at least, but
I mean, that too, yes.
As you all do that, you actually notice that Vaynor was not inside her hut, but she was outside tending to a small garden that she has hanging. She looks down and gives you all a wave and a small smirk. Says, "Oh, you've made your way back to me, it seems."
Barely. But we did.
You look to be in one piece to me, darling.
I mean, it
for
got
now.
pretty close.
Very.
Well, it seems
If
to
it
me.
wasn't for that Zapopa, we might not have been here.
She narrows her eyes.
Scratch.
Yeah, so she
Scratch.
narrows her eyes and looks at you and kind of nods and goes,
Yes.
How many times has he had it?
3 times, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You've had it twice.
I know.
Definitely is habit forming.
But what do you mean habit forming? You've only had it 3 times.
Yeah. Why do you think I've been prestidigitating myself every half hour?
I hadn't thought about it. I'll look more closely at you.
I'll scratch some yellow flaking off my skin.
Okay.
So how long does this last?
There's like an orange powder that he kind of like has to scratch off of himself. Are you asking this about Morta?
Yes.
She winces a bit and says, "Unfortunately, I do believe the effects are permanent."
Uh,
Touching it again.
at least
Please
I
don't
can
almost
hold-
die, guys.
At least I can hold myself back to a degree.
True. Fortunately, it looks like your side effect, Lekka, is only affecting your general comfort. As I mentioned before, fortunately, you are magically inclined. Were you not, the fate would not be quite so simple. Of course, taking more will stow away with the side effects.
Not looking forward to that.
Indeed.
I've seen what addiction can do to a man.
I would definitely pace yourself. It is quite powerful. It calls to you, but emergencies only. If you two, as she looks down to Aldrin and Sarabi, she does motion for you guys to come up if you wish.
Of course I will come up.
Haven't taken as much. Treat it as a last resort.
I did treat it as a last resort.
Well, you're not dead, so it clearly worked.
Thank
Quite.
God.
And what can I do for the 3 of you today?
Just checking in.
I figured it would update you on our progress.
Of course. How are things?
Well, we met some of the lizard folk. The nicer ones.
Good, good.
They don't want to help.
Well, they seem to have an understanding with Swanaku. As long as he doesn't break it, they aren't inclined to help.
That sounds about right. The Kiru, I believe it was, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
They primarily stick to themselves, not entirely interested in this little war of ours. You'll probably have your best luck with the Goa, but good luck discussing anything with them. They're not entirely unapproachable, but you know their ways. If you do attempt to approach them, be as courteous as you possibly can be, but do not show weakness.
Yes, we've heard something about what do they call it again? The challenge?
Her eyes narrow and she goes,
Oh,
and then,
yes.
ah.
Forgot about that.
And she kind of gives a look of like, they spoke to you of Sopkatok?
They didn't say his name,
Vaguely.
but yes.
Something about scales and a lot of teeth, though.
Yes, it is a gargantuan creature composed of magma and death.
Magma?
It
And
is.
death?
Is he also a minion of Zvrak?
You make something made of death.
I wouldn't call it a minion, per se. It's been here since before he arrived. To my knowledge, it's been here before any of us arrived.
Oh.
It was one of the island's guardians. There are a few. I wouldn't recommend angering them. I will say they go quite foolish attempting to butt heads with it, but I've heard tale of 1 or 2 being able to pry loose a plate. To my knowledge, killing it would be impossible, but they may continue to try and throw their lives away.
You think it would be possible for us to get a plate off of it?
She attempts to not laugh. You can tell she's kind of, as she's motioning around and moving a plant, she turns to you and just says, "Unless you bring an army, I wouldn't try. I'll be honest with you.
We can't even sneak in, maybe?
If you're incredibly quiet and quick, yes, but you won't be taking anything from off of its body. I can guarantee you that. It is literally inside of the volcano.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you'll have
Yeah,
to
that
find a
makes
way
sense.
to pass under a waterfall of pure lava to get in.
Well, that doesn't sound impossible to me.
No, it's not. They clearly got through, but not always in one piece.
But they didn't have... Wait, Eldred, take it out.
Huh?
The crystal.
I'll take it out then.
All right,
Whatever the hell this is.
She,
I don't know what it does, but it does make me incorporeal.
She leans forward, gives it a poke with her nail, and says, "Did you lick it or snort some?"
Snort some.
I licked a smaller one.
I had considered shaving it down and swallowing it, though.
She looks at you and this is like, the look in her eyes that says no.
Okay, I'll trust her.
Let me be incredibly clear. This is not for consumption. Unless you wish your lungs to be full of crystal.
Ah.
I mean, maybe one day. You never know.
Maybe one day.
Some of my broods would have been pretty excited about that concept, honestly.
Let us just say someone decided to take it upon themselves to snort some of this. When we opened their body, we discovered that crystal had been growing inside their lungs. It killed them within the day.
Lekka's checking his tongue.
She looks at you and kind of nods and says, "You'll be fine, you'll be fine. It's primarily if you will consume too much of it, or, well, snort it like an idiot. The effects are quite interesting, I'll say. You're able to phase out of this plane, see visions like you've never seen before. You'll enjoy them all the way to your grave."
Thing on this island, do something cool, and then kill you.
And that explains why Ma's so interested in him.
They are a power source. Like I said, please don't eat them.
Aye,
What can they be
Borna.
used for? Or how do you use them, rather?
Trading with Svarku, he and his kin are able to consume them in various ways.
No, I don't like that.
She points to the giant mountain behind her and she says, "That place is essentially full of this stuff."
The one we find, get where it was located, Ben.
Where did you find this one precisely?
On top of Ziggurat, right by a silver pool.
A pool filled with liquid mithril, apparently.
Oh.
And any idea what the hell that was about?
Yes, not the crystal entirely, but the pool, yes.
You went to go take a dip in Bad, by the way.
Yes, the Kiru, was it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Told us it was mind refreshing. It helped you see things.
They are correct. Did they lead you to believe that they put it there?
No, I don't think so.
I think
Good.
they said it was there before them.
Correct. It was here before I got here.
It's also not in my pocket anymore, so I can't take it with me, sadly.
Yes, I've once bathed in it as well. If you were to take a dip, you'll be quite thankful when it dissipates 24 hours later. I can't imagine getting that stuff out of your hair would be pleasant.
Yeah, it's an advantage, I guess.
Is the dip worth it?
Yes, it can open your mind to the beyond.
I can handle a little bit of wet fur for a while.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be more than wet, honestly. They would be
It's
heavy as
fine.
hell.
Well, we'll take the day off after we take a dip in it then.
Sure. Can't be any worse than those weird dreams I have all the time.
Okay.
She does motion to the crystal again and says, "I will make a recommendation. You may wave that around with your people, but don't show it to the other ogres."
Okay.
That was what he forced us to mine from the mountains.
No, I can see that
good.
being an issue.
That was the reason we were enslaved. They wouldn't want to see it again.
At least now I understand what Ma's doing here, I guess.
She kind of gives a look of like, when is
Yeah.
she attempting to
Mean.
leave?
Well, from what it looks like, not currently.
She breathes out like, okay, that's what I heard. My sons were able to swing by. They were able to get a look at it. Looked as if she's camping out, expanding.
Definitely
Yes.
expanding.
It's a bit weird, honestly. There is no trade if we can't get off this island. She knows that better than anyone.
She seems quite confident they'll be leaving at some point, apparently.
Which is more concerning, honestly. Considering we both know that there's only one way off this island.
Indeed. I'm assuming she's keeping something close to her chest. We all have our secrets, after all.
Honestly, knowing Ma, she probably has many secrets. And I do not want to know any of them.
Safe assumption. Most of the mining that we did was indeed pulling those out of the mountain. Svarku needed them for whatever reason. I don't know if it powers him or some weapon or something, but he seemed to need an infinite supply of it. He was never satisfied.
Maybe it's also addicting. You never know.
Could be. I never stayed around long enough to find out. We're free for now. Let's keep it that way.
How common are they this big?
She kind of shrugs like she's not impressed. I've seen larger.
Just wondering what kind of bargaining chip we had.
Oh, you can definitely sell it to someone, but if Ma is here to, well, begin digging, then she's going to suddenly come across quite more than just that paltry little stone you have in your hand.
I mean, she's also got to draw the ire of Svarku, unless they have a deal.
I guarantee she's working on one. There's no way she wouldn't be.
Probably.
She kind of nods at that like, yeah.
It's possible to convince her it's probably better to get rid of him.
Well, we're going to need to do something fast about that, because I think when she's made a deal, she's not going to break it.
How strict is Ma on like her deals? Like, does she ever break them?
Only if there's a very, very good reason to, and only if the other person cheated her first, but she'll usually try to stay within the lines and get them on a technicality.
Yeah, that was the impression I got.
Yeah.
So basically, we don't want her to make a deal in the first place.
Yeah.
And
I
we know
mean-
that apparently Svarku has a very solid point because he keeps dragging people to his side.
The initial impression is she doesn't want Ma here at all. She doesn't belong here. She doesn't know what she's touching. She's going to mess with the wildlife. She's going to mess with the ogres. She's going to have to. Like, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And Ma, everyone has told
Doesn't
you.
care about any of that shit anyway, so...
You very much know Lekka, so you guys have heard of the Martell Corporation. She's not known for caring about that kind of thing. The impression that Bavmorda and the ogres and everyone you've talked to, the lizard folk, they have kind of gotten that same impression when you guys have mentioned it. They don't personally know her, of course, but they don't want her messing. They don't want anyone new messing with the ecosystem. The ecosystem.
Only Eldrin has an ecosystem.
Other than that, do you have any other questions for Bavmorda?
I'm not
I mean,
entirely
I
sure.
guess we can just head back to the ogres. We don't have any other questions.
Yeah, sounds good for me.
Okay. It'll be about 8 o'clock by the time we get there. Was there anything that we were planning to ask the ogres?
I mean, don't we have a few southern horns to give them? Or like one?
No?
I thought we
No,
had one.
because Sarabi didn't loot it.
Oh,
She dragged our corpses away.
you didn't loot
Before
the
we
southern
died.
horn?
Your corpses were more important,
That's a dirty
okay?
lie.
No, at the moment
Let me-
they were. Maybe
let
you're
me die
regretting the
for the
decision
southern
now. No! Life before horns.
But we could have come back, you know.
I was tired and hungry, so no. That
Yes,
horn was
but-
not usable.
Yes, you were hungry for horn.
Yeah, but that horn was not usable.
Oh my god, stop.
You're just
Is
being
the
picky.
yeah, I am being Mickey. Yes.
Huh.
Is the ogre merchant here or no?
So there's always trade available.
All right, I will check all the trade. I want to see if they have other manta bracelets,
Okay.
or maybe someone who can tell me how it was made and reproduce it.
I will say at that, they don't currently, but they let you know that they didn't make it. They found it.
Can they tell me where they found it?
They seem very hesitant to tell you. They just said a friend gave it to me.
Whisper to Sarabi, do you think it's from the village of the fish people?
Oh,
We'll say someone from the other village recognizes you guys. They're probably here. They dropped off some goods as well. As you kind of mention, hey, is there another one? He kind of like elbows them. They look at him and he goes, oh, okay. And then they let you know that like a friend, and then he kind of like does like the fish gill motion with his hands, gave it to us.
wait, as in the water nymph?
Don't say that out loud, though, because we don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Lekka will be very quote-unquote surprised. Are you telling me there's a village of fish people here?
They laugh at that, like, ah, ha, ha, fish people. Other than that, looking for anything else?
No, I just really wanted some extras of those.
Did Eldrin want to buy a piece of whale meat or whale bone this time without forgetting it?
I forget how much that was.
They want to trade, so. Also, the weapon that was mentioned to you, they can do that here for you. You see a couple of the Obsidian Weapons.
So what would they be doing with the sword again?
They can basically infuse it with Obsidian, and what that will do for you is you'll do 3 more damage. So your proficiency bonus should be 3 right now, I believe. So whatever your proficiency bonus is, you'll do that much more damage every hit, except it will shatter if you naturally roll a 1, 2, or 3. Oh no, 1 to 2. Sorry, yeah. If you roll a 1, 2, or 2, it'll explode. Your weapon is fine, but the coating will break off.
Sure, why not?
What would you like to trade for that?
They don't take gold, do they?
Eh.
If only we had Sullenhorn.
I don't really. True.
Sorry.
I don't really pick up too much stuff. That's kind of what everyone else does.
I mean, I could try to sell some of the Sapopa stuff, assuming they even want to buy that.
I feel like that'll just kill them.
I'm also pretty sure they know better.
Yeah, probably.
Badmore did let you know that they're aware of it.
I mean, I can trade them one creepy doll head.
I can trade them my foldable canoe. So they're probably too big to ride it, but
Probably. I don't even have much gold, even if they wanted that.
Actually,
So I guess no. I mean, I have one of those the spider bushes still. I doubt they want that though.
No.
But what if it's on fire?
That's
But what if it's a continual glowing spider bush?
No.
You can't cast it on creatures anyway.
Fiery bush. Does that count as a creature?
Probably. It's alive, right?
It's alive, yeah. All right, so we essentially just swung by to say hey? Like, hey, we're still
Pretty
here?
much.
I mean, I
Okay.
guess we could ask them if they would be interested in like a permanent light, because they did have like those flaming things in front of there.
Yeah, if you ask
Little ones.
around, they don't not believe it, but it's more of like can we use a permanent torch? Like, kind of. They're not
I mean,
super excited
we
about it.
have a model we can show off, Eldrin's ring.
You show them the ring, and they're like, oh, it can be on anything. They're a little more interested since you can enchant it with anything, but,
Yes.
Sure, technically.
It doesn't use oxygen. It never goes out unless something dispels it. But I don't think anything's gonna do that.
Well, that's more interesting. They will definitely consider it. If you guys swing by with something, or the ability to do this spell, and enchant, an item of their choosing, yeah, they can trade you the obsidian coating plus something else.
Yes, if you bring the material cost. I assume they know what ruby dust is, right?
They do, but there would be little to no ruby dust on this island.
Yeah, too bad.
They're aware of gems, but...
No, actually, that's better. We can say it's a rare resource.
Totally can.
Where's
No,
the last-
it is. It literally is.
Yes.
It is a finite resource on this island. Once you use it, it's not going to grow back. Not in their lifetime. All right, so we'll say promises made. You let them know you're interested. They let you know. Yep, we're down. As I mentioned, some of the merchants, some of the various ogres from the other village swung by here. They're like, hey, remember, you're the ice guy. And, they kind of like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. The little dude, he's awesome. And the other ones just kind of give you guys a wave. But by this point, the folk recognize you. You guys have been pretty cool. There's maybe a few whispers that you guys kind of hear farting about of the new group, the new ladies, that big boat. They're not really happy with it. They're kind of like,
That big boat.
yeah, the big boat. They better not come up north this way.
Too late.
Yeah, we're already hit now. Wait, what?
And not outright anger, but very much a, we know they can't leave, so hopefully she has something better planned, because we don't need that whole situation here.
No, might as well explore the rest of this hex then.
Since we jolted straight for this location, I'll go ahead and tell you within the same period you guys are moving about. I'll give you this one for free because it's very straightforward. As you guys move about, there is somewhere off the beaten path, away from their village, you guys are able to find a field that's just open and full of like jagged rocks. It's a little strange. It's very abrupt. The jungle kind of just stops. This whole area is dominated by piles of broken black basalt boulders. Say that 10 times fast. And about 3-foot high grass. So, Lekka, have fun. 2 of the boulder piles are covered in fuzzy orange sapopa.
No thanks.
Lekka starts shaking.
No, Lekka! Don't go near it.
I'm trying.
As you guys are kind of moving about, you see some spider brushes that are actually moving away from the sapopa and moving out of the... It looked like they were like resting on top of the rocks to sunbathe, but the sun is going down. So it looks as if they were kind of moving with the sun as it's, becoming later and later, and they're moving somewhere else.
Oh god, they're cats.
Do we want to look at the next location as well? It'll be about midnight by the time we get there.
Yeah, I guess.
As we fandangle ourselves through here, various night axe warriors that are coming back. Some of them got some pig. Maybe they got some like giant bugs. They're discussing something with one of the bone binders, the daily hall and such. They don't see you guys, but they kind of move on through with. As you guys head to your next destination, you come across an area of jungle that is roughly 100 feet in diameter. It's been completely cleared of vines, undergrowth, and deadwood. There's 5 large black iron cauldrons that hang over various fire pits. and a number of poorly constructed wooden tables covered in translucent yellow goo that are scattered throughout. There's a half-butchered corpse of a large gray whale that hangs from lower branches of a big, mighty tree. There's stacks of whale bones piled below. You also see crude wooden chests, barrels, crates, and racks that are adorned with very large meat hooks that are scattered throughout the area. You know, this is one of the locations where they do their whaling. I say there's a cute little picture, but that whale looks kind of sad, so I won't say cute.
I mean, it's a very dead whale, so, you know.
It's incredibly dead, yes.
Hey, look, Aldrin, did you still want to have some bones? Maybe they have some.
Just rip out some giant whale bones.
There are a few ogres kind of watching the area. If you wanted a bone, they might give it to you. Some of them have been bleached, some need to be bleached.
Nah, I think I'll pass on that.
What did you even want it for?
Don't worry about it. It's a surprise.
Now I'm extra curious.
As you guys move by, various cooks give you a wave. As you can see, they're boiling off the meat from the bones, and they're skinning them and cutting them up and whatnot. And it looks like this is one of the processing locations for the whales.
It's a lot of whales.
A lot of meat for a lot of dudes.
How do they get them, though? I thought it was dangerous to go out sailing.
So I vaguely mentioned they don't get them.
Beach themselves?
The whales beach themselves, correct.
Wow. They do it frequently enough for this to be a permanent business?
Correct.
Kind of alarming.
That's kind of weird.
I could be wrong. I believe they said that Mogok blessed them, and that's why they have effectively an infinite food source.
All right.
That's interesting. I've never seen a god actually provide.
Alrighty, and with that, are we heading further eastward, westward? I want to send you guys in the ocean. I'm sorry. You guys want to drown?
Yes.
No. I won't drown. Thanks.
Let's go. Nice.
I mean, Sarabi has the braces, she won't drown.
Not yet.
We'll go ahead and say we move westward back to 3.
It's midnight, right? Shouldn't we just settle down for a snooze?
Mm-hmm. If you guys want to settle down, we can do so in the next area, or we can do so here. Up to you.
On the edge of the camp seems like a good idea. At least we know we're safe here, because there's ogres nearby.
I mean, I also have a tiny hut, you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you want, you can sleep outside.
No thanks.
Well, then come inside. You need to be near me.
I'm coming inside.
Otherwise you'll get locked out.
No!
I mean, that's how the spell works. It's weird. Don't ask me.
I'm here.
So if you did use any spell slots, go ahead and do a long rest here, and we can pause as we look westward to our next foray, whatever that may be.